Hello, everybody. Yeah, quite a weekend of fights we had, right? Well, next weekend we are continuing picking up. Actually, next weekend isn't gonna be any worse. Actually, yeah, we got a couple major fights and also a couple of other interesting ones, smaller fights. Let's say. Let's start first with uh, UK, the big fight in UK, which is at lightweight, and it is yeah, it is what do you call it? Josh Warrington fighting versus the champion, WBA champion Leigh Wood. Yes, it is an old British show, English showdown between two of their best little guys, to put it that way. Yeah, I mean, their best, ultimate best little guy is Sonny Edwards, but you know, he's a flyweight. He's a tiny guy, not just a little guy. Anyway, Leigh Wood, the correct English pronunciation is Leigh, by the way, not Lee. He recaptured his title with a really impressive display against Mauricio Lara. Yeah, what a performance that was! Great performance. I'm just really starting to like Leigh Wood more and more. And as a person, he's shown to be a really, a gracious, very compassionate individual. Uh, Josh Warrington, yeah, we all know he was best as a featherweight, and since he lost to Lara himself rather brutally, he hasn't been really, I mean, the same. He did stop Kiko Martinez. That was a good win. Even though Martinez is kind of, dark horse. You never know how he's gonna perform in a fight. He can do very well and upset, like he upset Kid Galahad, for instance. And but sometimes he just, doesn't impress at all. And now he's, like what? How old is he actually? Now 40 or something, maybe even more, I think. But anyway, uh, Warrington has just been, you know, he is lost to Luis Alberto Lopez also, and though it was a good, I mean, it was a competitive fight. It wasn't a beat down or schooling or anything, but still, he was beaten really. I mean, yeah, fair and square at home also. Um, yeah, so I don't know really. I mean, the thing is, I think Leigh Wood is much more natural, lightweight, and he's a big lightweight also. Even I can see him moving up to 140 soon. Probably he will. I think, even though that division is now pretty stacked, getting kind of stacked. But anyway, Leigh Wood is the favorite in this fight definitely because he is not as sharp worn as Warrington. Hasn't been in so many tough. It has been some tough fights like Conlon and Lara and that Chinese guy. I dare not pronounce his name. I don't know how it's pronounced properly. But anyway, um, yeah. But he's still despite being 35, he looks to be in good shape and. I believe Warrington is kind of the same age, I believe, as he is. Yeah, let's see. Warrington. You know, yeah, Warrington is 32, but that's an old 32. They're actually of same height, even though I believe I saw that Leigh Wood has been listed at 5'8". not 5'7" as here. But anyway, the reach is identical. Wow. All right, that's interesting. That's kind of even almost suspicious that they just. But anyway, yeah, put the height and reach just identical. But maybe it is. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Warrington has been stopped, of course, and by Lara. Even though Leigh Wood was, you know, stopped easier. They were both stopped by Lara, but only Leigh Wood managed to avenge that loss. Even though the rematch Warrington Lara ended too soon, you know, because of a cut and stuff. So anyway, let's see. I mean, head head to head comparison. Lara, sorry, not Lara. Wood has 27 wins, 16 by knockout. His knockout percentage is therefore 59, and he's got 3 losses. He's been stopped twice. I don't remember who against second time. He has fought since 2011. Has boxed 163 rounds. Warrington has 31 wins, 8 by knockout, with a knockout ratio of 26%. He got 2 losses, one by knockout and one draw. He's been fighting since 2009 and he's boxed 261 rounds. So almost 100 more rounds Warrington has boxed people, despite only being active more 2 years longer than Wood, and despite only having how many 34 like 4 fights more than him. And why? That's because he's not a puncher. See, so he almost always had to go the distance. In most cases he had to. And yeah, even when he got the stoppage, it was usually in the late rounds. Usually like 10, something like that. Yeah, so I think just too many things are loaded in Wood's favor. It's like Chris Eubank would say, senior. I mean, and I think Wood will probably even stop. Or Warrington just likes to, go to war to like all out, slugfest. It will be a slugfest, definitely. But since Warrington doesn't have the power, especially at 135, he will have to adjust. He will have to fight a little bit different. But the problem is, I don't think he knows how. I don't think he's very good at boxing. So, but anyway, I think at this point Wood probably stops him, like a little later, maybe after 8 rounds, something. Yeah, definitely. So that's my prediction. All right, then we are moving on to an American card, and there we have a big fight between uh, Ramirez, let's see, Gilberto Ramirez, who's called Zurdo, meaning lefty, versus Joe Smith Jr. So this is a cruiserweight fight, actually. Wow. First time for both guys at cruiserweight. But while Ramirez, at almost 6'3", you can see him, ending up at cruiserweight easily. Joe Smith isn't really a typical. I mean, size-wise, he's 6 feet tall. Kind of more of a light heavyweight. But anyway, he's got actually two. I'm sorry, almost 1 inch reach advantage. Yeah. Well, yeah. Even though he's 2 inches shorter than Ramirez. He's also more of a puncher, so his knockout percentage is higher. Yeah, he's got 22 knockouts, 28 wins, 4 losses, and Ramirez has only 1 loss, 44 wins, 30 by knockout. Yeah, I mean, both have been fighting since 2009, and but because of Ramirez being more active and not being such a hard puncher as Smith, he's got over 100 rounds more. Wow, 121 actually, to be exact. Yeah. So at this stage, I think Joe Smith Jr. is actually he's 34 years old. Yeah, right. Ramirez is 32. So now he's approaching, that point where fighters start to lose their edge. Yeah, but still, he's not that, that old. Yeah, his last loss and his last fight was a brutal loss to Arthur Beterbiev in the second round, a blowout. He tried, but he just couldn't fight Beterbiev. No way, he couldn't fend him off. Yeah, because he's also too much of a, fancy fighter. He's not a technical fighter. He's not a defensive fighter. He's a puncher. So, when two punchers meet, and one of them, then the guy who is the bigger beast of them, he wins, of course. Easy enough, easy, Matt. Yeah, Ramirez. He looked really poor against Bivol, but he's not the only one. Canelo also looked poor against him, and but the thing is, I don't think Ramirez really tried. He looked like he didn't try even against Bivol. I think he probably had weight problems. I mean, like problems making the weight, and that probably affected his performance because he like hardly threw a punch in that fight. That was, I mean, no way he that poor in reality. At his best, I mean, he could have at least tried. He would have if he had been in shape, but he wasn't obviously. So I think he's just a better fighter all in all, except in the power punching force department. That's where Smith has the edge, definitely. Yeah, Ramirez is just, a more complete fighter boxer. He's more of a boxer, but because he's also tall and has a big, he can box, he can jab, and yeah. So yeah, I just kind of lean a little bit more towards Ramirez now. I mean, the thing is, of course, this is a dangerous fight for him because he can just one right punch can change the outcome of the fight from Smith. While for Ramirez, it will be harder to stop Smith. So I definitely lean towards a points victory or maybe a late stoppage for Ramirez. But the only way, of course, Smith can win, I think, is by a knockout, and not in the late round because he doesn't have many of those. He tends to fade sometimes in the later round. So like mid rounds, mid fight, yeah, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Yeah, but what I really lean more towards is that the first outcome that Ramirez wins some points. Maybe even kind of maybe stops Smith late, but I'm not really gonna go for that. So yeah, all right. And there is just one more fight I would like to feature just briefly, only. This is the guy Bektemir Melikuziev. He recently avenged his only loss to Gabe Rosado. Yeah, he's a strong guy, like a bull. And he's fighting Alantez Fox, a really tall super middleweight. Yeah, so this is a super middleweight, of course. Yeah. So I think Fox is like 6'4", I believe. Yeah, he is. And Melikuziev is 5'10", but he's also 4 years younger. Um, the reach advantage is also pretty big, huge for Fox. It's like 9 inches. Holy shit! But Melikuziev is a southpaw. That's worth noting. And Fox isn't. Yeah. So I watched the fight against Rosado. He was impressive, Melikuziev, but it was a kind of burned out, faded Rosado. But yeah, Melikuziev was winning back then. I mean, he was caught, just caught, and simple as that. He was knocked out in that fight. So that means that others can do it as well, I guess. I don't think Alantez Fox is a knockout. No, he's not a puncher, really. He's got only 13 knockouts and 28 wins. His percentage is 46. Melikuziev is 75, 9 KOs and 12 wins. So, yeah. I mean, also, Alante Fox has been stopped already more than once. So a couple of times rather early in the fourth round, in the fifth, I see. So yeah, this fight it is a 10-round fight. Will probably, I mean, it can end also in a points victory, but kind of think probably Melikuziev will be able to stop Alante Fox eventually. So I think I'll go for also mid round TKO, like sixth, seventh round, probably. Yeah. So that will be all for now. All right. Have a good boxing weekend, guys, and see you.